It's here.
Hello?
Have you checked the children?
They're all pots, all of them.
Whatever you do, don't fall asleep.
I'm afraid!
Don't be afraid!
No. Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Gingy.
Pain has a face. Allow me to show it to you. Gentlemen, I am pain.
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes.
You think that when you die, you go to heaven. You come to us.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
I think it's trouble.
Julie, this guy, if he can't take a joke, he stinks.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
Greetings, Flesh Wound Horror Freaks, and welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Horror, our part 2 of our Nicolas Cage special. I'm Daniel Shine, joined as always by Todd Loya and Pugs Dread. Gentlemen, how goes your evening?
Namaste. I am Castor Troy. Woo!
There you go. Legally change your name. Fuck, now I kind of want to do that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, Castor Troy is pretty cool. Todd, how are you doing, sir?
I am cool. I'm doing, I don't know, whatever. I'm happy to talk some Cage. Dan hasn't pissed me off the show yet, and we've been on a whole like 30 seconds. So
That's
we will,
correct.
good. We will not redo the last week's caginess.
There you go. I won't bring up buckets or anything that will trigger you, I promise. Anyways, let's get right
Dan
into
just got done chugging a big bucket, by the way.
All I am chugging, sir, is Monster Juice Mango.
Monster Juice.
These are awesome. Have you not had these? Mango
Calm
Loco?
down, Monster Juice.
Mango Loco, dude. I wasn't even, you can make your well, never mind. I didn't say it. These are awesome.
Nothing more
It's like being
professional
on a beach.
Okay.
It's like being on a beach, man. It's
You're
awesome.
not supposed to be on a beach right now, Dan. Yeah, get the harpoon.
I want to do the show from a boat. I want to do it bad, but I don't. The signal out on the water. I don't know.
Why don't you record something that we can play during the show?
Oh, we can do that. Like me fighting. Like
That's what I was trying to explain to you the other day.
Would you air it if I do like a
it down
thing? Or
if you what?
Wrestle a gator.
Oh well, yeah, we're gonna air that everywhere.
I'll do it. I have no problem doing it. It's not as hard as you would think. It really isn't. You just. I mean, you don't get.
Let's make sure your brother sends it to you when you're in the hospital or on the way to the. Whoever gets to talk.
You dare me? You will see it.
Double dog dare you, sir. We're gonna need something for your Kickstarter to burial money.
You have no faith in me, Todd. No faith. I can.
All I care is if the alligator eats the hat. That's it.
I will put the hat on its head and just. It'll be awesome. I'll do like OG Croc Hunter shit. I won't play Stingray.
How did? What?
No, well, he did in South Park, the thumb in the butthole, but I won't be doing that. Thumb in his butthole. All right. On that note, I don't know how we got there, but we did. Let's kick it off with our first film, which was a remake of the classic original Wicker Man. And this is the Neil LaBute remake. All right, we're different here. Policeman Edward Malice doesn't know just how terrifyingly different the people of Summers Isle are, but he will. He's come to their private island to find a missing child, and each step of his search draws him deeper into a web of pagan ritual and deadly deceit, and closer to the Wicker Man. Nicolas Cage plays Malice. Ellen Burstyn portrays the eerie matriarch Sister Summerisle. And Neil LaBute writes and directs this shattering tale of an unspeakable horror. Weary, wary, and increasingly on edge, Malice faces a defiant, unfamiliar world where his badge and gun mean nothing. And his presence on the Isle means everything. It is the day of death and rebirth on Summer's Isle, and no one can escape. All right, so this one's tough because I love the original Wicker Man.
Can I say something just off the bat?
Sure.
I don't think I mentioned that before, but in case you want to plan accordingly, this was the first time I've watched this.
Oh shit! Okay, so it's a cherry popper episode as well. Yeah, you want more of those? Patreon.com/Fleshpoint features. But all right, so I love the first Wicker Man so much. I think that is a timeless horror classic. It's if you haven't gone and watched it yet, you should. Was Christopher Lee's favorite movie that he's done at one point. I don't know if he ever flipped on that, but
I have to ask you. You said the first, so is that No Love for Wicker Tree?
That's not very good. Is it?
No, I was just asking. So no, you weren't. You were saying the first.
That one has a couple moments, but yeah, it's mostly garbage. There have been other films that have, been in the vein of Wicker Man that are actually quite good, but yeah.
I know. What's a recent one I can think of that would fall in that category? Dan?
Midsummer, of course. A classic. And yeah, we have a certain taste, don't we? All right, so this one, I'm conflicted because I love Nicolas Cage, but man, that original, you were probably screwed no matter what. And this is a very neutered version of Wicker Man. You're not going to get a whole lot out of it if you've seen Wicker Man beyond Cage, who has some truly hilarious moments in this. From the
unintentionally, by the way.
When he's in the bear costume and runs up and punches it, I mean, there's definite. But let's be honest.
Wait. What if Nicolas Cage was in the cage?
There you go.
That would actually make it 100 times better.
When she starts tripping out, she just starts seeing Cage's face like floating everywhere. This
make this edit, by the way.
Yeah,
I think I might.
This is not a good movie. I mean, there's some good cinematography. It's pretty to look at.
Well, hold on.
I will say this.
Before you start raping it, Dan.
No, I'm not.
Seen it before.
I disagree with you 100%, especially after you
finish. I got to finish one thought though, because I'm not hammering it like you think. If Nicolas Cage were not the lead, this would have just been dry and just empty.
But you can say that about 90% of the stuff he's in. You look at last week's show, you pretty much pulled Nicolas Cage out of all of them. Con Air would still be something, but it wouldn't be what it is.
Probably not. No.
Vampire's Kiss would be complete garbage. What else did we do last week?
Drive Angry.
Drive Angry without Cage, I don't think works either. So pulling Cage on the occasion isn't fair because you could do that with a lot. Because it's his performance a lot of times that make it. Now,
what do you think?
I was going to say, while you're shitting on it, all those reasons you state was me with Con Air. Mm-hmm. It is over the top. Let me explain, Pugs. It's over the top. It's kind of all those things that you listed that make it like not good are also what make it completely awesome.
Con Air isn't a remake, though. This has a previous.
I was talking about all the other stuff you said. I was
I get that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I first time I was into it. I love the first two. I should say. The first one also, the original, not the sequel. And it was just like, I don't know, because Cage was in it. It was borderline parody of the original. But I mean, and I had heard people shit on this forever, which is why I just didn't watch it. And I was like since this movie came out to now, as we kind of brought up a little bit, the full Cage thing has been brought up. It's become a thing, and it's allowed people to revisit some stuff just to look at his performance. This is one of those that definitely is one in his performance. He's fucking like out there. I mean, it's just, it is. It's a great Cage movie. Really like this one.
Isn't it sad from the beginning when you start laughing when the car with the little girl gets hit?
Oh my god! The whole movie had me busting up. I was fucking. Oh my god! I was
just in a car accident. That shouldn't be funny.
Well, if a little girl throws her baby doll, let it be. Bitch. Which I know I don't have to tell Dan. He already knows that.
Pugs, what did you think?
Well, I saw this in theaters, so I have a little.
Wait, I have one question. I don't know if I should wait. No, I'll wait because I noticed if you look on the cover, it says the alternate ending not seen in theaters. I'm curious what the original ending was. So,
you know what? I couldn't even remember, but I have seen it.
Okay,
that was the first time I saw it, and call me a snob. At the time, I was just like, "This movie is terrible." I was gonna say, this movie's. I could not believe what I was watching. I'm like, this is my boy Nicolas Cage. What the fuck is going on here? Now I'm chuckling, but for like all the wrong reasons. Everything that you liked about it, Todd, it was the reason why I was like just disappointed the entire time. And then the big famous scene when he starts yelling about the bees.
You bitches.
Yeah, the movie kind of won me back because I thought that was fucking funny. Now, has it aged with me? Not really. I kind of got actually harder on this, where I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, dude. I checked my phone in a Nicolas Cage movie. That's not a good sign." I still like all the parts that I mentioned, like you mentioned the little girl and the doll when he gets crazy with the teacher, and then the bees. That shit's still funny. So, I'm not like a big fan of it, but is it as bad as everybody says? Not anymore.
It's not the worst about the remake.
You know what's funny about the people that like say it's so bad and blame the remake thing? I can tell you a large portion of those people have probably never seen the original. So they're just helping bash it because everyone else does.
People do hop on the bandwagon. I do really like the original, but it wasn't like, this sacred fucking film to me. It's just, that's really goddamn good. But now Midsummer, that became a fucking favorite for me. Yeah.
So you don't want a Nicolas Cage remake?
I am into Nicolas Cage being the bear. I think that's fucking awesome. Or one of the elderly people too.
Another thing this lacks too is like some of the eroticism that you had in the original Wicker Man, which classy. But I thought there was a chance to do that with Nick Cage and Leila Sobieski, who's a great actress that disappeared like 5 or 6 years ago, or longer than that now. I mean, it's just not a whole lot really happens here, and it doesn't draw you in the same way. The chemistry's not there. This one just doesn't work. Now, there are a handful of moments where Cage goes full Cage, like you said, with the bees that will have you rolling. So it's not all a loss. People list this with like the Fog remake or Prom Night.
No.
And I'm like, no, dude. Like, there are much worse remakes. I mean, the original's where it's at. This was trying to do, in one way, trying to do stuff a little bit different, but still much the same. There's just not the danger's not really there here, and it's the mood's not there. It's definitely a miss, but if you like Cage, it's worth a watch. A heavier R rating would have helped this. I think
you're comparing it too much to the original, I think, for the purposes of the Cage show.
Well, I don't know.
I get why.
I'm more offended that he compared this to The Fog. I'm like, I would watch this movie 10 times over before I ever watched The fucking Fog again.
Not me. I've heard other people compare this as like the
To
worst.
The Fog?
Yeah.
I don't agree. The Fog remake is shit.
I think I told you guys, right? Like, I tried to watch that movie like 3 times and fell asleep every time. Where the last time I'm like, fuck it, I'll just watch it from where I left off. I still fell asleep probably.
I'll take the bees in my pee hole over watching the Fog remake again.
It's like a crazy.
I mean,
I do not want to watch The Fog. Yeah. That's up there. Well, with a certain movie, you'll find out on Cherry Poppers with me.
Oh, there you go. That's terrible, but okay.
Well, good way to kayfabe that, Dan.
But anyways, you know,
spoiler, Dan.
I still have fun with this movie, but it's not a good movie. I give it a 2. I have to be realistic. It's if you're a Cage fan.
All right, I'm gonna close on this one then, Pugs.
If you don't like Cage, it's probably a 0. But yeah,
I'm actually exactly with Dan here because I would normally give this movie a 1, maybe a 1.5. Mm-hmm. But when Nicolas Cage is uncaged, then this movie becomes charming and fun. So,
yeah,
dose.
I am a 3. I had so much fun. I was probably in the right state of mind, but it worked good. And yeah, but if you don't want a full Cage movie, and this one's borderline full Cage, but he has his moments. What the?
Just what do you make sure dude? You're in the right.
Show the camera. You're. What is
that? My bad.
It's sucking the world's smallest dick.
I don't know. Smoking the weed, Todd.
Well, I don't do that, so
I feel like I didn't say you did.
Yes, you did.
Okay. You did.
Okay.
So no, that's fair. Like that's yeah.
In to quote Lance Storm, if I can be serious for a moment, we'll tackle the next film, which is we haven't had a Squared Circle Society in a while. I have to bring wrestling into it once in a while. We have it coming.
Yes, we do.
So our next film, is the one that got Nicolas Cage the Oscar from director Mike Figgis, Leaving Las Vegas. This film, in this profoundly moving film, which landed Nicolas Cage the 1995 Academy Award for Best Actor and Elizabeth Shue a nomination for Best Actress, alcoholic Ben Sanderson hits rock bottom and sets off for the lights of Las Vegas, determined to drink himself into oblivion. There he meets and falls in love with Sarah, played by Shue, a sexy, seen-it-all hooker. But will their unique and powerful bond be enough to save Ben from himself? So
I just got to say it real quick. You're supposed to announce, as Todd says, the greatest love story ever told. So
the greatest love story ever told. So this movie is really interesting. I don't know if either of you ever read John O'Brien's book, but I do recommend. Well, I should say this. I don't recommend it if you're like in any kind of a depressed state because it's basically just a suicide note. Because he died.
That's a Pug's recommendation.
There you go. If you don't like them, you recommend it to him. But yeah, man. The writer, offed himself before this even came out and died pretty much. He wasn't,
in the throes.
In the throes, but he dealt with basically the same thing. So he kind of was the lead character. This is a pretty powerful movie. Hadn't watched it in a while again, but it makes sense if he's going to win an Academy Award that it was for this movie. He's been really good in other stuff like Bringing Out the Dead, adaptation. There is serious Cage, although we certainly get cagey moments in this one as well. But nonetheless, I thought he was I thought he was really realistic. Pugs, what do you think? When did you see this one?
This is another one where I thought I saw the whole thing, but I just seen it on TV and not paying attention. I think I was too young for this to totally take grasp.
Right.
So I'm gonna say this is my first time watching it. Holy shit. No shit, he won a fucking Academy Award for this. This motherfucker is awesome. I felt so fucking bad and I liked him a lot. And when he fucks up, I'm like, dude, you just broke my heart.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. Did he fuck up?
He did what he intended to do. I mean,
I don't think he fucked up.
I think we're talking, well, maybe not.
You
know what? Because I am also in love with Mariska Hargitay. Like, maybe not. But he could have been nicer to Homegirl because she loved the fuck out of him. Like, instantly. Like
Mariska Hargitay?
Dan Fast. No, to Elizabeth Shue.
Oh, you said Mariska Hargitay. You were confusing me there.
Well, I love her. That's me.
Yeah.
Even now. I would be her sugar baby. She'd be my sugar mama. I'm in. Dude, this dude goes on a fucked up journey. And yeah, alcoholism is a real bitch if you want to take a look at it.
Yeah.
Like, he has a gold statue to prove it. Elizabeth Shue, I want to hang out with her. She knows how to treat a man. Her bargaining skills suck, though. So.
I don't know what you guys are talking about because this to me is like the feel-good film of the year. He's hanging out in Vegas. He's getting drunk all the time. He's got a hooker with the heart of gold. I see goals when I watch this movie.
The only thing that could have made this movie even better would it be he ran into the guys from Very Bad Things, and it'd be fucking incredible.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the movie was fantastic.
Oh, dude. Yes.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite Cage movie, like just that he's in. Not necessarily a Cage movie, if we're going by what we're talking about. But yeah, I've always been a fan of this one. I was, when this came out, I was old enough to comprehend, and I was probably, I know the first time I watched it, I was drinking, so very relatable.
Yeah. I have a question. The name, I still don't understand. Leaving Las Vegas.
I think because he's going there to die.
If you think
so, he's leaving Las Vegas.
Okay.
That's the way I've always interpreted it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, you know,
I think there's a better name out there for it, but
he's arriving, I guess, in a way, but he's leaving. And we should also talk about some of the supporting cast here, some of which aren't in it long, but are really good. Richard Lewis in the beginning, Steven Weber as well. You know, not like
with black hair. Have you seen him now? Fuck.
Yeah, dude. I mean, there's a lot of people that kind of pop up throughout this that I forgot were in it, but I also have to throw out Julian Sands.
I was going to say, but you didn't forget he was in it, right?
Well, no, of course not. When she hikes up her skirt to be like cut by him, I was like, holy shit. I don't remember the rated cut of this because I'm sure probably for the last.
It was just in the sex scene. It was only maybe 30 seconds cut.
Was it the assault that I thought maybe wasn't there? That's what I was.
No, the assault's always been there. It may have been a little more.
Yeah,
I love how that guy comes out of the room like Dan. Want to do butt stuff.
And this is why I don't want to take Dan to Vegas. This is what I picture in my head when he wants to go to Vegas. But if it was Elizabeth Shue, I would punch Dan right after.
Yeah, but you know it ends the same way as if it was you. So
yeah,
Dan beginning, Todd ending.
Too many witnesses.
But yeah, man. I mean, this movie's been criticized over the years.
That fucking cab driver, dude. I want to suck him.
You know who that was? Xander Berkeley from Candyman and everything.
He's been a ton of stuff.
It's like you get one up the the tailpipe weren't expected.
Yeah, so unexpected.
Dude, and then the shower with the trail.
It's brutal, yeah. Like, I mean, I'm laughing, but I mean, of course, it's sad as shit. But I like the raw truth with this movie. I mean, it was in a sense perfect love story. I mean, it was what it was. You know, they accepted each other, and
but did they?
Well,
yeah,
that was the agreement. No, because he had one thing that he wanted of her. Like, I don't ask me to stop drinking. She went around it, but we all knew what she meant. Well, that's fair.
And then he would make comments about her hooking. So
I'm on his side, though.
I'm just saying they were true to their word, but they were also not.
But ultimately, they came together. I mean, you know, it's kind of like me. Like, if a girl's just like, "Oh, you really need that many Blu-rays?" Then, you know.
Yeah, bitch.
Dan, it's absolutely not the same.
Well, now I got defensive. Yeah, kick rocks.
No, I'm not saying that part, but your shopping addiction and alcoholism are not the same. They're not comparable.
Oh, well, sure. I have plenty of addictions, though. I get addiction. God damn it.
No, you have a bunch of compulsions.
Okay.
I think there's one addiction for damn sure. And you helped him with it, Todd. You enabler.
Now he's confused.
Pornhub.
I know.
Women?
In a way.
That's the big one.
He literally just said Pornhub, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, Pornhub. Oh, well, yeah, but everybody's addicted to Pornhub.
Okay.
Dan
right now in 2020, everybody's addicted to Pornhub.
Though I do have one thing. I think it is a little romanticized, and I don't even mean just in the fact that they fell in love so quick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he said there's going to be bad times and stuff, but there wasn't a lot of. They were really underplayed.
Yeah, a lot of people said true. I mean, again, I've never seen somebody die of it. Well, I've heard of people that have gotten in accidents or whatnot, but I guess it is a lot more pathetic than they made it with him towards the end in terms of.
I think it's different for everybody because, you can be a sad drunk or an angry drunk. So when he flipped over the table, shit, he's angry. Yeah. I think he cried a few times, but yeah, I think we're supposed to use headcanon for that. There's probably a little more bad shit that happened, and then the shakes and shit.
I think there should have been more than two instances, really.
I think you lose control of your bathroom functions too.
I'll tell you in my high drinking days, I have only had that happen twice.
Oh, did you know who it was that she propositioned in the casino? Did you recognize the person?
Yes, that was Arlie Emery.
Oh, yeah, Arlie Ermy, yes.
Ermy.
I thought it would have been funnier if he was the same character from Full Metal Jacket. It's like, you
suck dick.
Really loud. She just shh. It's like, are you a Peter Bluffer? I don't do that. Starts mocking her.
Well, do you know who the biker girl was? Since we're going to do this game,
I'm trying to remember which.
The biker girl that gets some punch.
Yeah, Shawnee Smith.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, yes.
I did not like her fucking bangs. So her haircut was terrible.
God, it was awful. Awful.
It looked like one of those Lego pieces you put on the Lego person, where it looks like they're.
I thought it was a different. I can't remember who I thought it was at first. That made her look like someone else that I can't even think of now.
Yeah, she's way more attractive than what they got her going on in that movie. That's annoying.
I like Shawnee Smith, but her character annoyed me. I'm like, are you just trying to get him so he gets the shit beat out of him? She was just annoying me.
No, she's just trying to get her boyfriend jealous.
That was fairly obvious, man.
I know, but that annoys me. I was just like, come on, you're using that poor guy.
If that ever happens to you, Dan, you ignore that bitch. No, I'm good. He's right. You should go back to him.
But you know what?
I don't think it matters.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dan was the one they were trying to make jealous.
No.
Because Dan would not be able to just be like, which is also the case. You should ignore that bitch and be like, whatever.
Yeah, but she's instigating a fight that there's nothing that either guy can do. You kind of have to fight, and it's just, I don't know.
No, you don't.
I just told you what to do. Todd just told you what to do. Ignore that bitch. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I mean, if she didn't, the guy's still going to come over and probably try and pick a fight with you.
Did you not
sees you ignoring this fucking whore? Like, it was me. Hey, bro, come check your lady. like, then he'll be like apologetic to me.
You really think?
Usually.
I have
First off, I'm a big dude. No one's really going to come up to me like that. So.
Oh, you never know. You're in a band, dude. I'm sure that happens all the time.
No.
At a show, I'm sure.
I don't let that shit happen, man. I do not like problems, and I will shut that shit down.
It's either that, or you look at the girl and then you size up the guy. It's like, can I take him? And does he have a gun, possibly?
And when Dan says, "Can I take him?" he normally means a different thing.
Oh, well, that's like the ultimate, I guess. Like, hey, look,
I'm establishing dominance. I'm gonna treat him like, where's the pinball machine?
You like that, Judy?
I'm glad this is all in our serious review of Leaving Las Vegas.
This movie is seriously a masterpiece. Should we rate it?
Oh, I'm a 5.
Oh, you're not a prickly pear? I'm a 5 as well.
Wow. I was wondering how this one was going to go because, like I said, this one I've always really loved.
He deserves the Oscar, too.
It's fucking awesome. And then, like, it throws in a scene for us scumbags with there's 3 of them, too, so it works out. Dan goes first.
Yeah.
All right.
I should mention I've always been in love with Elizabeth Shue, and now I really want to watch Adventures in Babysitting.
Hamlet 2 as
you know what? I'm gonna watch that because you sent me the rental gimmick. So I'm gonna watch that before it expires. So maybe I'll watch that before.
Cool.
Oh no, remember you sent me one. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, cool. All right. So our main event for part 2 of our Nick Cage show is the 1997 John Woo film Face Off. Same year as Con Air, man. He was on a roll in the late 90s. All right, so John Travolta stars as FBI agent Sean Archer doing the unthinkable to stop the elusive terrorist Castor Troy, played by Nick Cage. Watch the bullets fly and the action explode as master action director John Woo detonates the screen in the special... gets into the Blu-ray again. This one's been out a while. So, Face Off. Man. Well, I'm not going to go first on this one, Pugs, because I know you love this film. What did you think of Face Off?
Okay.
I know, Pugs, you want to go last. I can tell, don't you?
That's fine. That's totally cool. It's another one of those where this is, yeah, I'm going all the way. This movie is the shit. I fucking love this. I have a little story for you guys. Like, I fucking fell in love with this movie so hard. But I love Castor Troy. Whether it's Nick Cage or John Travolta, don't care. He's badass. His gold guns. Up to that point, that was like a lightsaber to me. This is one of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen. Can I get one? So randomly, an ice cream truck went by because I was still in middle school. So I was like, oh, I'll get a fucking ice cream. Holy shit. That's a gold cap gun. Do you have 2 of those? They had 2 of those. I don't know where they are today. They're probably in my garage somewhere. I bought 2, awesome. And I went and I got one of my fucking mom's like coat thingies. I put it in my back. I like put the fan on and I pulled my gun out.
Took them into school.
I did. I really shouldn't have, but yeah, they're in my bag because I had to show my friends. Guys, look. I bought 3 because I tried to paint a dragon on one of them, but like back then I was artistic, just not. I wasn't that good. I was like, oh, this sucks. Whatever, I'll just keep my cap guns. You pop off the orange cap and you look like a fucking badass.
Yeah.
So that out of the way. holy crap, this movie is the shit. It's one of my favorites of all fucking time. Not even being hyperbolic. I don't see anything wrong with this movie, even to this day. It is outlandish, but I think that's what they're going for. Because
I don't think they were going for outlandish, and I'll tell you why. Were you already a fan of John Woo going into this? Is my question.
I knew of him, and I liked what he Hard Target or whatever it was. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, Hard.
I never. This was like before I paid attention.
Hard Target also.
Yeah. He did.
I don't think I saw Hard Boiled before.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was like, oh, that's that dude who does the slow motion shit and birds.
Yes.
Yeah. Excuse me. Where was I going?
I don't know.
I'm picturing you in your class, like with the guns. I'm gonna take his face.
Well, you don't. Yeah. You don't take him out of your backpack. Like, let's be real. And this is pre-Columbine, because if it had been after, I probably would have did it. Like, you guys gotta come over and see this shit. I'm not getting called in the office again. But yeah, so John Travolta kicks so much ass playing Nicolas Cage's
Oh my god.
Castor Troy. Like, I think he should have been nominated for an Oscar, but whatever. Oh, I was going to say how outlandish. Because, like, you're removing someone's face and putting it on someone else's and then doing a whole bunch of other science fiction body bullshit.
Right.
It's fucking crazy. And then you got a prison with fucking metal boots and shit. Yeah, dude. Everything about this movie is fucking cool. To this day, I still say I'm Castor Troy, like I said earlier. Like a peach, I can eat a peach for hours. Shit like that. I'll let you guys go because I fucking love this movie.
Please, I need to jump in before I do. I did go in already, a fan of John Woo. So this was like his first time really imposing his style on an American film. So I mean, a lot of people really liked it because it was new to them, but I still have to laugh when the birds pop up. Now, some of that stuff doesn't hold up well for me, even when I go back and watch Hard Boiled or The Killer. It is kind of like, and I don't think it was ever tongue in cheek, but now it feels like it. It's the case of, when something becomes, oh shoot, what am I trying to say? It's like, even though it's the one that innovated it, it's so old hat when you go back and see it. Kind of like people sometimes have a hard problem with Halloween now, but that's a whole nother conversation we won't get into. I have to say, genius casting with Danny Masterson. So
called that one.
The role he was born to play.
I think Travolta groomed him, by the way.
Any massages going on set? What drove him to it? Maybe, I don't know.
Did Francis Ford Coppola produce this?
This is also the movie that made me like go out and find a butterfly knife and learn how to do those tricks. I used to be good at it. I gotta find it. I'll show you guys on here.
Yeah.
I used to be able to throw it up in the air too and catch it. Like, yeah. This movie, the shit.
Yeah.
I do. Go ahead, Dan. I was going to mention something else that escaped my brain.
Yeah, man. I like the Margaret Cho, an early appearance from her. It doesn't even look like Margaret Cho at this point, but
the surgery was successful. The stick was removed from your ass.
Yeah, this movie kicks ass. I mean, from the very beginning, it's going to be like one of those Cage roles where he like grabs the girl's ass as the preacher, and he's like,
oh. He does the fucking windmill.
He was D-Lo Browning that shit. Shit. And the stuff with, I mean, it almost made you uncomfortable. I'm like, even watching it back then, I was like, is he gonna fuck his daughter? Or I guess he's not really fucking his daughter, but I was like, shit, I hope it doesn't get that dark. This is weird, because I think I remember watching this with my parents and thinking like, oh shit, please don't like fuck the daughter. That's just gonna get awkward. But
he did give me one of my go-to lines. I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. That's pimp as fuck.
Yeah.
And when he's like, I mean, this movie is pretty tense. Like when he's like mocking him about like fucking his wife and everything, and it's like, wow, this is brutal. Yeah, Cage could do no wrong at this time. And I get what Todd's saying about some of the stuff now feeling kind of cliche. I'll see, like, particularly, I mean, this is before Matrix, but some slow motion stuff that they did, like, right after Matrix with the bullets, and like everybody was doing that. And I kind of feel the same way now about some of that I see in like early 2000 action
Crouching
stuff.
Tiger is another one to blame for a lot of it, too.
Yeah, there you go. But here's my question for you guys. And I know obviously they weren't the original two, but could any other action star pairing have worked better than Travolta and Cage?
I don't think so. Because, like, Nicolas Cage alone, he is brave enough to tackle that role. That motherfucker's fearless, and we all know this. And John Travolta always brings his fucking A game. Like, I think he's underrated. But
yes, yeah.
So no, yeah. I don't think so.
And you get basically two Nicolas Cage. You get Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage, and then you get John Travolta playing Nicolas Cage. So,
yeah, Travolta, he showed what he had as an action star one last time in I don't know if any of you saw From Paris with Love, like 10 years ago.
Fuck yeah, I did.
Yeah. You got to see that Cage, or that Travolta, I'm sorry, like one last time on the big screen, but nobody really paid attention to it.
Oh, dude, that cocaine scene is the shit.
Face Off.
Have you seen it, Todd? I'm sorry.
No. So I was going to say, well, shit. I guess I got to see it now.
Yeah, dude. It's another one. Nobody really. I mean, their stars kind of fizzled out around the same time. Although Travolta didn't really.
No, I feel like Travolta's was a little more recent.
Yeah, than Cage. You're right.
Or he just finally started accepting the DTV stuff. I'm trying to.
Yeah, he doesn't care now anymore. But with the exception of Fanatic, Travolta's stuff's pretty awful. There's not as much yet, but he's done a couple movies that were just barely even watchable. Cage still, like I said, he will, not all of them, but Cage still pumps out some good stuff. I think he still gives a shit, but he's got bills to pay.
I just looked. It looked like his last really theatrical thing was Savages in 2012.
Yeah, with a featured role. Yeah, I mean, I still feel
it was an ensemble cast. That's a little different, but
is that the one with Arnold?
No, Savages is Blake Lively, Benicio del Toro.
Okay,
I'm trying to figure out
the two brothers that were both banging the same girl, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm thinking of with Manganella.
Sabotage.
Yeah. With Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. Both actually good films.
Now we need, God damn it, you said it, Dan. I want Cage and Travolta in the next Expendables.
That has to happen. Is there any way we can totally ignore Face and just have him as Castor Troy? Just completely ignore Face Off, and he's just Castor Troy. And we have Travolta in the Fanatic role.
Oh, fuck.
He's like,
talk about an Oscar-winning role. If Fred Durst would have put his own goddamn song in it in the middle and put himself over, it would have been all everywhere.
Yeah, that
can't talk, can't poop. Dude, I really want the fucking Expendables movie where these two are the fucking villains now.
You wanted both villains on the same side?
Yeah,
like bickering brothers or something.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like, oh my God, like they're like the Weinsteins. We're like, yeah, they're arguing, but fuck everybody else. Like,
you got to stop getting these massages, John. You're going to get us caught. maybe it's like Stallone's like nephew or something that like he gets it from Travolta in the beginning, and that's what sets it off. There you go, boom.
Fucking Cage helps him cover it up. Yeah.
There you go. Yes. They're like a movie studio. He's like a hopeful actor, and it's like the Expendables in Hollywood. Can you imagine like a big like just old school action scene in the middle of just like Hollywood Boulevard, just all the dudes?
There's got to be like a gym shower sequence where it just.
I will accept the random bird shots of just when they enter the scene.
I'm gonna write this story. I don't care if it gets made. I just have to put it on paper.
Oh man, can you imagine that? Like just action.
Yes.
They're brawling. They're brawling in the tent cities. Holy shit! Like you got. Oh, who would be like the homeless action star cameo? I feel like somebody's got to like come out of the tent and just start like. Chuck
I would say him, but he was. Oh my god, I hated him in Expendables 2. It's the goat, Satan's pit. What the fuck? You didn't need that.
Van Damme needs to have another. Has to have a twin in it. That's good.
There we go. I just muted his ass. Started talking about Van Damme. That's his punishment from now on.
Fuck yeah, yeah,
All
dude.
right.
But like. This movie, it's up there with, like, for me, Howard the Duck, any of the Batmans, RoboCop, and, Con Air, I could probably include that, too. Like, it's just, anytime it's on, anytime anybody wants to watch it,
you're down.
I'm fucking in. And this movie's fucking long.
It is.
But to me, it didn't feel long, but, like, it's 2 hours and 15, I think. Yeah, fucking long. Anytime.
If you were like wanted to pick at something, you could make the argument that it was longer than it needed to be, but it's never boring. So you want to go ahead and rate it?
It makes its villain sympathetic too, because like I felt bad for homegirl losing her kid, Adam.
Yeah. It felt like even like just that tiny bit of him like was starting to come around to just being like
he
a
realized,
suburban dad.
Fuck. I threatened the shit out of this bitch, and she is traumatized about losing her kid. Like, I think I went too far. Yeah. This movie's clearly a fucking 5 for me. Like, yeah,
5 all the way. One big hole.
Does it make it one big cage then? I don't know.
Yeah, it's one big cage today.
All right.
Although leaving Las Vegas still gets one big hole. So
yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. I mean, we picked like
one big back hole.
Yep, we're all gonna like huddle in the shower now after this, and
all I gotta say is I'm proud of us. 2 weeks in a row, and I didn't drop like a dozen uncle jokes about Francis Ford. Creepy Uncle Francis. There we go. I got one in.
They had Victor Salva cameo as an FBI agent.
See, I wasn't going that far.
He was in the prison.
Yeah.
There you go.
I heard he was originally cast in Steve Buscemi's role. No. Allegedly. I don't even. It's funny.
Well, the girl might be saved.
I'm like the only one who's like accusing him at this point. I don't know. I'm just saying it's kind of weird that he's been champion producing Victor Salva material.
It's out
I'm
there.
just saying it's weird.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
All right. So, guys, patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures for exclusive and early content. Fleshwoundfeatures.com. Check out the eBay store. Facebook, Horror Cartel, Flesh Wound Radio Group. Join it. Like the Flesh Wound Features Facebook page. Stalk us on Twitter, Instagram. Listen to us on Blog Talk. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube page because, again, we are new, and that helps make us a little more visible. And on any of these platforms, tell us what you want. We're down for ideas. So
no more hats.
Oh, there will always be the hat, motherfucker.
Lies.